several parts. So on last episode we did an episode on learning disorders, but we did a general introduction and coverage on it. So today with me is a founder of Dyslexia Organization Kenya, and she'll help us shed a few lights on what dyslexia is, if there are categories in learning disorders, and so on. So, karibu.
Thank you, Nassim. My name is Phyllis Munyi. I'm child development and the founder of Dyslexia Organization Kenya. Dyslexia has been here since 2012.
Dyslexia or the organization?
Oh, sorry, Dyslexia Organization Kenya.
Okay.
It was started in the year 2010. Registered as an NGO in 2011. But previously, we had these awareness campaigns because by the time we were registered, we already had known about dyslexia. So making it formal was on the year 2010. Okay. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what motivated the starting of the organization?
I'm a parent of a child with dyslexia. He's now around 22. I learned about this condition when he was in class 2. Previously, there's that way of thinking, why is my child being so lazy, why is he not working hard, why is he so playful, why can't you spell small words, why the reversals and all that. So those are things that we kept troubling me. You look at this person and see, he's okay, he's a vibrant kid, he's a very happy child, but when it comes to reading, there's something about it. So actually to reach a point I said, I know this person is not sick, he's not lazy, he's not that he don't want to try, but there's something that I can't understand. I really have not understood why it is, because you see he's putting all the efforts, but still he's not reading. Still he cannot spell words. Still he cannot reversing his words very much, especially the name. So I didn't know what to do, but I decided I'll just go slow. So later on that I came across newspaper that had written children who write "doy" for boy, and that's why I called the word dyslexia. Went to the internet. That was back in 2006, 2007. Luckily I had internet. Those days no many had internet.
Yeah.
I googled and it was like, all this information has been here, and I'm having my son with this condition, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know about it. So I dug deeper, I researched, and I went to the teachers now with that
With a whole document.
happiness, and now I know what is wrong with my son, and we can share, you can actually read this and we learn. Actually what I've learned, it's not the only one in his class. They could do 2 or 3 with the same condition. And I was now happy that something will be done. Yes, and the calling, the calling every time you're told to come to discuss your child's performance would end. Shock on me. After a month, I was called again by the same teacher to discuss my son's performance because he still was performing very poorly. So I asked him, did you read the document that I gave you? It was actually 4 pages, I can remember, that had what is dyslexia, the types how to identify, basic information about dyslexia. I had printed for him. And he said, you know what, I've been very busy, I've started it, and I'm like, really? And I expected you to know my son. And that's when I made the decision that I'm not going to stop here. I will do whatever it is. I have internet, I will Google, I will research, and I will work with him. So me back to the internet. I'm a parent of a child, 8 years. No, from Kenya there is no information about dyslexia. And then got information, got a lot of information, and whatever I did, I got you applied this. Everything I learned, I would go back at home and learn. I registered for courses. I did study about the degree, and I continued. So then continued now changing, continued improving to the extent that teachers were like, what is it you have done? And then I explained. So when I was about to finish class 8, I already had started now sharing with parents in the same school. I had started a small group of children who the school refers to me, and I had like 5 to 10 kids I used to now do tuition in the evening at home. So plus him, now we had a group of kids. So I realized now there was actually the need to create awareness. If for once, from one school I can get this number of children, how many are really outside there who need the help?
Yeah. Do you think it's important to have teachers trained in this place, like teachers trained to identify learning disorders at an early age, the interventions they need to take, and so on? Do you think there's an importance?
It is very, very, very important. Dyslexia and any other condition, any other, including even if an illness, the early identification, and then it leads to early intervention is very, very important. Teachers are the front line stakeholders when it comes to this. A parent takes the children, they are charged to school, expecting that teachers do everything. So like for me, I knew at the beginning is like every teacher must know. Obviously they know about these things. That was my assumption. Only to realize they've never even heard the word. So it is very, very, very important for teachers to learn basic things. How do you identify? First, there's this condition. These are the type of learners that you find in class. So how to identify this learner from this learner and from this learner? These are something that all children will come and all will pass exam should end true. So all teachers should have some knowledge about dyslexia and other learning difficulties.
Okay. So now under dyslexia, is there categories? Most people believe that for you to have a disability, a disorder, it has to be visible, and other categories for learning disorders. Because for you, if I look at you, I can't tell if you have dyslexia or dysgraphia or dyscalculia. So now maybe I give you a sentence to read or a word to calculate or something. So are there categories of these things? Is the notion that for you to be disabled, it has to be physical? Is it true?
It is not true. There are different types of disability or disorders. Mainly, when it comes to learning, it's not a disability, it is a disorder. So, there are visible disabilities or visible disorders, and there's invisible. And the people who really get help or understand are those who have this visible disability. If you see somebody who is blind, you'll actually be anxious to help them. If you see somebody with a cane walking, you will be anxious or you'll be ready to help this person walk or cross the road. If you understand somebody is not hearing, although hearing is more of invisible than visible, you'll struggle to help. So if you realize a person has something like autism, which is visible, or cerebral palsy, which is visible, or even Down syndrome, which is visible, you will understand that person. But invisible learning, invisible disabilities are very, very hard, and those are the people who suffer a lot in this community and even in school.
So under the invisible ones, that's where dyslexia, dyslexia, dyscalculia fall under, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like we should explain to the audience what disability really means.
Disability is whereby the environment inhibits you to achieve something or really become
Get to your potential, achieve your potential.
Yeah, if you are a person with who is not able to see, inability to see is causing you not need somebody's support, or some support, some kind of support. If you have something, you have a hearing problem, that disability, that lack of hearing means that you need extra support.
Yes. So, in this case, if you're on a wheelchair and the building is around, you need to have a ramp for you to.
Yes, that's kind of the disability. So when it comes to learning disability, which is especially invisible or hidden, hidden in the sense if you just can't look at your child about this, that I have this. You can't look at me and expect assumption is you're a child of 4 years, you go to school, and they will be taught the songs, they will be taught the rhymes, they will be taught the alphabets and the sounds, and all will be able to learn. And you expect as a parent that my child, in the evening they come singing back the songs they do. But no, not all children are like that. And this is where it is important for teachers to understand, yes, their children will come there. And when, especially the teachers in the grade schools, right now they are called the grade classes, the preschool. It's very important. It's very important for them to have knowledge about identifying these signs, the symptoms of these hidden disabilities or hidden learning difficulties, so that they will be able to apply the right interventions to help this child. Well, for example, if I would come back to like dyslexia, assumption is children will be able to read. You'll be given. So you realize this child is not reading. So it is not acquiring the reading like every other child. So when the children are in class and everybody is supposed to do the reading, as a teacher you realize this child normally has difficulty in reading. So what are you going to do? What kind of intervention or accommodation are you going to allow this child so that first he's not going to feel embarrassed, he's not going to be left out, he's still going to participate, but in a level that you understand, and it is not going to be public.
So I know from the conversation we had behind the cameras, you run a school, a dyslexic school for kids with dyslexia and so on. If I realize I have a kid with dyslexia, do I really need to take my kid to a special school or an inclusive school? How does that go?
Currently, all schools should be inclusive. Should be,
but unfortunately they're not.
Again, a person with dyslexia does not necessarily need to be in a special school.
Okay.
No, that's why it is important. If all teachers are able to understand this person, they will not need to go to a special school or a school for special needs. No, they need to remain in the school, be accommodated in the same class with the other children, because dyslexia, we are talking difficulty in reading. This person has problem with reading only. Mainly reading, it's not physical. Like if it is social, they are good, they have even other talents. So as a teacher, you need to know how do you exploit or use their strengths to achieve what they are lacking.